After Gagarin climbed in, see how cramped his craft was. His knees pressed the panel, head touched the wall, arms couldn't stretch. Most bizarre, the controls stick directly in front. It was sealed tight. Scientists feared insanity in space. Weightlessness fear caused control loss, risked mission failure, so they added a password lock. The password was sealed, released only by ground control if Gagarin was sane. Shot into space, waiting for instructions, living or dying by Earth's command. This was Russian roulette. Survival odds were 50-50. 2 out of 7 tests failed before Gagarin's flight. Craft re-entry failure killed capsule and animals. A test rocket exploded Oct. 24, 1960. Killing dozens of scientists, less than 6 months before Gagarin's launch, success rates were under 60%. Would you have dared to go? But Gagarin didn't just dare. He volunteered in 1959 for the nation's first space flight selection. From 3,400 pilots, they were screened to 2 finalists. Gagarin and Titov. At 27, Gagarin was 5 feet 10 and under 154 pounds. Why so short? Anyone taller wouldn't fit in the 2-meter re-entry sphere. Young man quit school at 15, worked in factories, became a fighter pilot. He emerged victorious from 3,000 candidates to be the first human to leave Earth. If I don't return, take care of our daughters, Gagarin wrote his wife before launch. Survive the journey back home. This letter looks like a last will, but I don't see it that way. On April 12, 1961, Gagarin suited up and boarded Vostok 1. The control center received an alarming warning. The capsule door's airtight seal sensor was showing abnormal sealing conditions. Failure loomed if the seal broke during escape. The cabin would pressurize instantly. He'd be sucked dry in seconds. Engineers had no time to hesitate. They rushed up, unscrewed the hatch, opened it for a recheck. Guess what Gagarin was doing inside? He raised his arm, checked the mirror, and whistled. It was an old song. Inspection showed all clear, just a false alarm. Screws retightened, hatch resealed. The gauge held steady, showing a perfect seal. Time ran out for goodbye. Engineers caught his calm glance. Countdown began. 5 engines ignite. Liquid oxygen explodes, blinding white light erupts. Pad shook, Korolev yelled beside console. Primary, secondary, main engine. Liftoff. Gagarin, let's go. 9 minutes later, the rocket pierced Earth's atmosphere, engines off, and Sputnik 1 orbited. Gagarin ventured into space. He saw Earth for the first time, later recalling it vividly. I saw Earth's horizon framed by a soft blue band against the darkness of space. Stars shone bright as he left Earth's night side. The horizon transformed into a narrow orange strip that gradually turned to blue before fading into an abyssal darkness. No one taught him. No human had seen Earth whole till now. Overwhelmed, he exclaimed into his radio. I see land, forests, oceans, and clouds. It's breathtaking. Zero gravity floats his body midair. His notebook and pencil drifted in. Weightlessness made every action effortless. But this wonder was brief. Vostok 1 orbited Earth at 27,000 km/h for 108 minutes. The craft completes its orbit, activates systems, and begins descent over Africa. The cable failed to separate, binding the modules together. They spun wildly. Gagarin noted rapid rotation, awaited separation. But the rotation lasted 10 minutes, crucial at speeds of thousands of kilometers per hour. At high speeds, every second risks life, if modules remain connected. The re-entry module may fail to orient correctly, veer off course, and land in the ocean unrecovered. In the worst case, it burns up. Gagarin was powerless, controls locked. He sat in the spinning sphere, waiting for the cable to burn through in 10 minutes. The re-entry module separated, realigned, and plunged into the atmosphere, but the nightmare wasn't over. Temperatures soared, the spacecraft engulfed in plasma flame from air friction. Gagarin saw flames, unaware it was normal heating. No one had seen it before. He screamed into the comm, "I am on fire." Goodbye, no reply. Plasma blocks radio signals during atmospheric re-entry, causing a blackout zone. For several minutes, complete silence between ground control and Gagarin. Korolev gripped the console tight, hearing nothing. There was nothing to be done. He was alone, facing what he thought was his final moment. Flames vanished, sky turned blue. Gagarin lived. The descent module fell to 7 km, activating the ejection system and propelling Gagarin out. He landed solo with a parachute, but his suit's oxygen valve failed to open, leaving him briefly struggling to breathe. This man completed humanity's most perilous journey and almost suffocated but survived. The parachute opened normally. Gagarin landed near the Volga off course. He stepped onto soft earth, later saying he barely believed he stood on solid ground again. No teams, no ceremony, just fields, first spotted there. Farmer granddaughter saw orange, white-helmeted figure fall from sky, feared aliens. Gagarin, don't run, I am one of you, farmer asked from space. Gagarin laughed, yes, I did. Hours later, searchers found him. News hit Moscow, the world frenzied. He had not returned to Earth. He was promoted to major, and his letter to his wife went unread until Valentina discovered it after Gagarin's safe return. As Gagarin hoped, she never needed to open it throughout her life. 7 years later, no fairy tale ending. On March 27, 1968, Gagarin died in a crash during bad weather. Anomaly to crash, 50 seconds. World refused to accept his death. He was humanity's icon. Anomaly caused crash in 50s. World denied his death. Young astronauts left Earth in 2011, but returned forever bound by its gravity. The UN named April 12th Human Space Flight Day for Gagarin. Honors astronauts venturing beyond Earth.